Hey everyone, back tuning into this morning's video. It's Monday Gas Office. The commentary is only one thing, it's Europe Day. Every Monday at Gas Office we have a look at the weather for coming week across the continent. And today is no exception. There's a lot going on this week, so I'll just very quickly say that website using for the European Outlook came from website.de. You can find on the links page, and let's get on with it. So here is the situation today across Europe. We've got high pressure ridging in from the Azores. That's the main feature, bringing lots of hot and dry weather to many parts of Europe, although the north and west has turned more unsettled. So through the UK and Ireland it's more unsettled, as it is over Scandinavia as well. But basically this high pressure across central parts of Europe still very, very dominant. And look at this, the heat's still really on here across many southern, central and southeastern parts of Europe. So really hot temperatures around Spain and Portugal, once again extending into southern France still, and then going eastwards through the Mediterranean and on into eastern, northeastern parts of Europe and down into the south and the east of Europe as well. It's a comparatively cooler scene up in the north and the west. So three distinct areas of precipitation today. We've got some thunderstorms over the Alps. Of course, you very often get them. Got heavy rain, maybe some thunderstorms across parts of Norway and Sweden, and then going across the Baltic in towards northeastern parts of Europe. And then it's mostly dry until we come back in towards the UK and Ireland. We've got some heavy rain across Ireland and northern parts of England in particular. Otherwise, lots and lots of dry weather and that area of high pressure. Convective potential is there, but most of this isn't being realised through the Mediterranean because the air is too dry. Of course, we know we've got thunderstorms over the Alps, and there could be some convection, some lightning and thunder across parts of Scandinavia and northeastern Europe as well. Temperatures really hot still through Spain, up to over 40 degrees, 42, 43, over 100 Fahrenheit, quite widely across much of central Spain, and that heat extends up into southern France, where again will be over 100 Fahrenheit there, and most of the Mediterranean very hot, and hot conditions extending up into the east and the northeast of Europe as well. Very warm through Poland and Germany, going down into central northern parts of France as well. It is cooler up in the far northwest, so for Ireland we're at a comfortable 21, that's 70. For England we're around 24, that's 75. And for Denmark and Scandinavia, a cooler scene also, 19 in Denmark is 66 Fahrenheit. Now you move through into the middle part of the week, and this high pressure is pushing out ever so slightly to the west, so it's allowing these cooler northerly winds to start to extend down across central parts of Europe around this trough of low pressure over Scandinavia. But through much of the Med, the high pressure continues to dominate. So very high upper air temperature still there across Spain, a baking hot middle part of the week for many parts of Spain, very hot for Portugal as well, and most of the Med will be really hot as it will going into the east of Europe. And then it's cooler across central, northern and western parts of Europe, those cooler upper air temperatures digging down through the UK and Ireland, cooling off quite a bit in France and also in the Low Countries through Germany, into Poland as well, and a relatively cool scene up over Scandinavia. The precipitation through the middle part of the week shows that we've got some heavy rain or thunderstorms possible again across much of Scandinavia, and these showers do push southwards as well, so really heavy storms over the Alps and probably going down in towards parts of Hungary as well, and then they extend up into Poland and hook back into Germany. Showers along the spells of rain, really, so those cooler air masses start to engage with the heat, but still there through the Med. We could well find some big thunderstorms developing on the dividing line. Notice though that most of the Mediterranean, from Portugal out in the west to Greece and Turkey over in the east, is mainly dry, just a rogue thunderstorm somewhere across Italy. Convective potential through the middle part of the week shows we have got convective potential through the Med, but because the area is so dry at this time of year, we don't realise the potential, so it stays dry despite relatively high CAPE. not so up to the north, so through these eastern and northern parts of Europe, we will have a risk of some lightning and thunder in places. The heat is still there through the Med. Look about still over 40 degrees in central Spain, still over 100 Fahrenheit, about 105 Fahrenheit in central parts of Spain. Heat extends through the Med, and then really hot going into the east as well. So we've got 40 degrees being signalled there for parts of the Balkans and heading up towards the Black Sea. So baking hot, dangerously hot conditions extending up to the southeast of Europe as it turns much cooler in the north. So look at this, the UK and Ireland are generally down into the teens Celsius by the middle part of the week. Much of France losing heat, even the south of France losing the heat away from the Côte d'Azur, and we're just down into below to mid-20s as we are through the Low Countries, as we are through Germany as well, and Denmark too. Now as we go through to Poland, that's really the dividing line between the cooler conditions in the north and west and those really hot, dangerously hot conditions in the southeast. Through to the end of the week, and high pressure is ridging back in here from the west, so it is starting to settle things down. Those cooler upper air temperatures and the low pressure, the trough starts to lift out from Scandinavia and heads up towards western parts of Russia. It's cool in the north and the east through into the latter part of the week, extending central parts as well. But notice the heat still through the Med, still dangerously hot through many parts of Spain, and the heat is beginning to push back in southern parts of France as well. So after that little reprieve with the temperatures, little cool off around the middle of the week, the heat comes back, heat is on again as we get through to the end of the week for many parts of France. And the temperatures beginning to lift up generally in the west of Europe, so Ireland and the UK seeing those temperatures lifting up. Lots of dry weather through the end of the week across many central-west parts of Europe. So it's dry through the UK, dry through Belgium and Holland, dry through Denmark, Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, most of the Med away from Italy where it could be a thunderstorm, looking dry. And as we go through into the northeast, then we find some showers with those cooler upper air temperatures extending from Scandinavia into western parts of Russia. The temperatures through the middle part of the week, very warm in west of Europe, hot, dangerously hot again through much of Spain. The heat extends through the Mediterranean. It's cool in the east and the northeast. Finally, having a look at next weekend, bit of a messy picture. It's still cool and unsettled in the northeast. We've got a bit of a ridge still keeping the heat going, I think, in many parts of Med and through western parts of Europe. Trying to turn a little bit unsettled out to the northwest, perhaps. The upper air temperatures hot throughout the Mediterranean from Portugal through to Greece and Turkey. Baking hot, it's cooler up in the northeast though. The precipitation shows showers for western Russia and northeastern parts of Europe. Then loads of dry weather away from the Italian mountains where there could be thunderstorms. And then we've got some rain for Scotland and Ireland, but the bulk of Europe is dry next weekend. Hot through many central-western parts of Europe, heat coming back in towards the UK, with temperatures up to 27 in London, that's 81. Paris will be up to 32, that's 90. Much of the Low Countries, Amsterdam, up to 32, 90. And Germany, around 30, that's 86 in Fahrenheit. It gets even hotter as we go down into the Med, and look at this, Spain still there, central Spain, Madrid could well be at around 42 or 43 degrees, around 105 to 106 Fahrenheit still next weekend. So baking hot through Spain, through Iberia, through most of the Med throughout the week. It will cool a little bit across France midweek. So if you're fed up with the heat in France, just get a reprieve for a day or two midweek, then the heat comes back at the end of the week and into weekend. Overall, it's still a hot scene for many parts of Europe. It will be a little bit cooler at times up in the north, starting off in the northwest and then going into the northeast later. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.